I want to present myself as an African. I want you to look at me as something new that you do not have any knowledge about, because most 99.9% of the information you get about Africa is wrong. Someone told me, he says, if you're African, why are you wearing European dresses? I say to him, you cannot say it is European dresses because that is a matter of history, and that is only for a symposium discussion in future.
International Tif Tif. International Tif Tif. This is one of the most impactful songs in Nigeria and Africa at large. It was done by Fela Kuti, the pioneer of Afrobeats, and with what his songs have done over the years, it shows how music is more than just sound. It has always been a powerful part of human life. It shapes emotions, guides movements, and gives people a way to express what words cannot. Music has also been a weapon, a challenge to power, raising awareness to the masses, a tool to inspire change and awaken consciousness in people's mind. In many countries, musicians have played a significant role in political and social movements. Today, our journey takes us west of Africa to Nigeria, where one artist used his music to do more than entertain. He sparked a movement, challenged authority, and exposed corruption. His music became a unifying voice for resistance and a symbol of the struggle for human rights and freedom. Welcome to the story of Fela Kuti, the man who turned sound into a symbol of resistance.
Let's fight with my show, you know. You see, when I go on stage, man, I don't go to play because I'm playing for money. I play music, I'll spend the money beautifully, you understand? First thing is I play music because it's like sex to me, you know, when I'm playing.
Born on October 15, 1938 in Abeokuta State in Nigeria as Olufela Ransome Kuti, he came into the world through a fiercely intelligent and politically active family. His father, Reverend Israel Ransome Kuti, an Anglican minister and a principal at the Abeokuta Grammar School.
Well, my father was a pastor, you know, a pastor, and everything had to be English and everything. We were not even allowed to speak our country's language in schools, and they called our own languages vernacular. So English was the a real language you had to speak in school. So everything was English.
His mother, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, a renowned women rights activist, nationalist, and one of Nigeria's most influential feminists. Their influence will later play a major role in shaping the life of the musician and his political ambition, and the legend he will later become in life.
Hello. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes.
Do you know Funmilayo Ransome Kuti?
Yes.
What do you know about her?
She's the first woman to drive a car.
She's the first woman to drive a car?
Yes.
This is something you hear a lot. And in fact, her car is on display at a museum in town.
What do they teach you about her at the school?
She's a teacher and a woman leader.
She's a teacher and a woman leader.
He attended the Abeokuta Grammar School, and while still young, he learned how to play music using...
So everybody wants to go to England, come back home to be master, you know, so I never thought about it, being African as such, you know, so it didn't mean anything to me until much later in my life. It was in England I started to feel the the awareness of having to be an African, because for the first time I came to England, I started to feel, oh wow, so these white people don't like us too much. You know, this is my experience from having to rent rooms. You know, I had so much. At that time, you read the newspapers in England, house for rent, no coloreds, no dogs, and all this. That annoyed me a lot, and not many students. You know, so at my student days in England, I started to be aware of having to be an African.
And it is here in London that he met Remy Taylor, his first wife, with whom he had 3 children. In 1961, he formed his first band.
Many dangerous people in Africa. The president of Nigeria is dangerous. Shagari is dangerous. As a person himself, he's weak. But his surroundings, his administration is dangerous. He is not as dynamic to be as dangerous, but his setup is dangerous. Because they all say he's great and everything, but underneath, he's spoiling the whole continent, you understand? So he's dangerous. You know, he has nothing to offer. He doesn't make big statements as such, but it's in Nigeria they come and do apartheid committee, apartheid this, you know, they're meeting about Namibia in Nigeria. Everything Nigeria takes on its head. You see, but this country is a Gestapo country. How can Nigeria be talking about South Africa? You see, South Africa is better than Nigeria. I know so. But look, we are saying whites are mistreating blacks in South Africa. Okay, that is bad. That is racism. They have a reason to do it. Then blacks are mistreating blacks in Nigeria. What's the reason? That's worse. Police beat people on the streets like dogs. They don't, I mean, in South Africa, I mean, they do it, but they know they face public criticisms. So they watch themselves to do it. But in Nigeria, they say Nigeria is against apartheid. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is a good, in America talks about Nigeria, like Nigeria is the greatest African country. But Nigeria is the worst African country. Where the worst things are happening, worse than South Africa.
At some point, the audience were bored with the high-life jazz music, and after receiving bad reception from the audience, he decided to relocate to the US. In the late 1969, Fela travels to the United States, and there is where he meets with Sandra, who was a member of the Black Panther movement.
I met a woman, a girl, Sandra Sadore. She was a member of the Black Panther. She gave me many books to read. The books I read about African history for the first time. And what they teach me in Africa, they said we were slaves, no culture. We had leaves covering our ears. So what the missionaries taught us, you know, that is the opportunity they took. That's why you have so many foolish Africans here who cannot discuss, who cannot emancipate themselves. It's not their fault, man. Education, terrible educations, man.
Fela to the writings of the activists of that time, Malcolm X, Eldridge Cleaver, among many others. Through the writings, his views are transformed. By the time he was returning to Nigeria, his views had really changed. The mother advised him to stop playing the high-life jazz music and sing music that reflected the struggles of Nigeria and Africa people at large, because at this time, many African countries were transitioning from the colonial rule to self-rule.
Are mistreating blacks in South Africa. Okay, that is bad. That is racism. They have a reason to do it. Then blacks are mistreating blacks in Nigeria. What's the reason? That's worse. Police beat people on the streets like dogs.
After he changed his music and started doing music that questioned the ruling regime, he became a guest to the government buildings. Those
1, 2, 3.
He was arrested multiple times, and after his arrest in 1976, where he was arrested because of marijuana possession.
First of all, I don't smoke marijuana because I'm a criminal.
Premièrement, je ne fume pas la marijuana parce que je suis un criminel.
It's because it is good for my body.
C'est parce que c'est bon pour mon corps.
And my body doesn't belong to no. And my body doesn't belong to no motherfucker.
He established the Kalakuta Republic and declared it independent from the Nigerian military state. The Kalakuta Republic grew, and this didn't go well with the police, and had their testicles beaten with bat rifles. Women were raped, and one recounted how her nipples were crushed with stones. In 2012, the governor of Lagos, Babatunde Fashola, began an initiative to rebuild the compound and turn into a museum, the Fela Kuti Museum. The attack left people with injuries. Others died, and his mother died on April 13, 1978.
People's minds have gone low.
A day before the retirement of the military president, General Olusegun Obasanjo, Fela Kuti and members of his family and that of the band organized a peaceful walk carrying coffin onto the Jordan Army Barracks, where was the residence of the military president, General Obasanjo. But upon reaching there, the army attacked them. They were beaten and thrown in jail.
You are going to Igbeyawo. Run, oh, because they have given you the right name. Ofelo Gbeiya. You see, Africans, you know, if people know the tradition, who can never make mistake, man. If you study our tradition like this, Our language has given us all the rigmarole they call chess. Our language has simplified it into word. But we don't have time for ourselves. Okay, on the final note, you see that wait, man. Is what? Carry suffer. So I say marriage is not good for the mind. So if you want to born pikin, if your woman born for you, born for you. Even if you marry, what is the guarantee? Say the people, your wife, the wife of your leg cut, the leg of your wife cut. You're not gonna know the way they go before. Leave the house. Someone picking for you. Will not be your own. So what is marriage now? There's no guarantee of picking self. To live a hard life is hard sense. And the know good and bad. What is good is simple. Don't harm your fellow man. So what you can understand that one? You have a simple life to live. So what message of Nigeria is speaking of your 53rd birthday? Now I talk to Jordan, don't know what's wrong with you.
After being thrown in jail, later they were released.
I was friendly with most of them. Me, I was a very nosy person. So I knew the ones that were his favorites because I used to check which one is he calling today. So I knew the ones that would go into his room 2 or 3 times a week.
The thing about Fela is, Fela's room is his private space. 80% of the time when the door is locked is because he's having sex.
In Fela's door by the bedroom, there's a timetable. Every wife goes to check my time.
Fela calls, get ready. When you hear get ready, it's your turn to enter Fela's room. And when those guys know that they don't want you to enter, Fela will be inside waiting for you. The door will be locked. They will go and block and go and stand by the door.
He's very goes out and fucks around, man. You should bring the women to the house, man, and live with him. And stop running around the streets. You see, that is what a man is supposed to do. A man is not supposed to run around the streets after women. You see, women should be in his home.
In 1980, he did
Religions, artificial. And the reason why Islam and Christianity is spread all over Africa, we know, is to exploit the people. All Christians think like white, like European, like English and Americans, and all Muslim people think like Arabs. So they're just diverting the African minds from their roots, that's all, And Africans must know. You see, they must have the original one. And somebody must spread the knowledge of this. And I think I have the knowledge.
Also highlights how the Obasanjo regime committed atrocities such as killing students, burning houses, and also how they killed his man. After seeing all the struggles people of Nigeria went through, he tried forming and registering a political party called Movement of the People. But
they are trying to make the government into a two-party government where they won't be able to register any more parties. They want to make it like a law that the government cannot have more than 2 parties in the country. What's happening in Nigeria? Now you see, so I have to sing about it. Knows Africa has to be united now to have any headway. But how is it going to happen? It's a good question.
The regime changed.
Okay, let's assume you're the man who wants to play music. There has been a few years that you couldn't play music, that you've been in prison, right?
Yes.
What happened? Why?
I was in prison?
Yeah.
I was in prison simply because of what I talk about Africa. You see, the African leaders we have all over Africa today are very preoccupied with their own personal development, personal richness, you know. So it is, they are committing crimes against the African people.
And they're not the right persons on
And they're not the
that
right
place.
persons in that place.
1977, his legacy beats on in every note of African protest, music, and in every voice that dares to speak the truth to power. Fela didn't just sing, he inspired a generation to rise. And in that, he lives on, loud, proud, and eternal. Some will remember him as the father of Afrobeat, and some will remember him as a voice to the voiceless, as a freedom fighter. And that brings us to the end of this story of Fela Kuti.
Something tells me I'm right, so I'll be president one day. Don't worry.